Hey guys, this is Suleika with Passages of Life. Well, as you can see, I'm very shiny and this kind of hurts. Today, God has a sense of humor. I say that God asked me to do something, and I had written about Esther and one of my journals. And as I was reading, I read that she went through a purification process before she went to go meet the king. And one of the things that I read was that for 6 months, if it's on Esther 2:12, for 6 months, she was covered in myrrh. And I'm like, myrrh? And if you've never smelt myrrh, if you've never seen myrrh, it's kind of like the oil is tarry and it kind of smells like tar. It's got a strong tarry smell. And I'm thinking to myself, 6 months of that. And then after the 6 months, she was able to have all these other oils placed on her to, I guess, mask smell from the myrrh. But I was like, well, would it feel like it's just oils? And I guess a lot of there's been a lot of preachings that I've heard that have said, oh, well, it's just oil, and she probably was just pampered. And I'm like, well, Lord, I'm like, show me. He's like, I don't have to. Just, you bought the oil, told you to buy the oil, try it. I'm like, are you serious, Lord? You're telling me to do this? Well, I wanted to share this experience with you because God tells us to be able to speak and by our testimonies and to be able to share what we've learned. And it hurts. Esther went through pain for 6 months because what happens is, I can imagine, I'm sitting here imagining a young girl who's working, whose hands were rough. She took care of her uncle and she took care of the household, and she probably had cuts and scrapes like I do when I take care of my family. And she probably had, things wrong with her skin, open wounds. This hurts. I don't have as many. I'm not outside working. I'm not in the streets. I'm not living in a small place. And this hurts. My whole face hurts. I don't know if you can see my upper lip. All this is open. I have all this. And it just burns. So I'm thinking to myself, 6 months of intense burning. My body, I have it on my body. It burns. I mean, talk about enduring. You really want to be a queen, you have to endure this. And a lot of the times we complain. A lot of the times God gives us a task to have to go through something for a little bit that is going to cause a little burning, a little cleansing, a little purification. And the only reason we're going through that cleansing and that purification is because we're royalty and we're meant to come out on the other side. But we don't want to go through that because we don't want to go through a little bit of a burn because it kind of smells a little funny. And it was kind of awesome the way the Lord showed me this. He's all like, anoint yourself. I'm like, I want to use the other one. Frankincense smells a little bit better. At least to me it does. And he's like, no, use that one. So there I was, putting this all over me today. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I understand. 6 months of this. But you know what? She accomplished so much for her people because God placed her in the right place in the right time for a purpose. So we need to understand that we're being placed in the right place in the right time for a purpose. So we just have to, during these times of burning and having that oil put on us, being anointed, during this time, trust in the Lord. He's going to do some great things in your life. Now I got to go wash this off. God bless y'all.